Welcome to the Horror and Gore Horror Movie Podcast, your number one podcast for all things horror. My name is Goobs, and of course, I'm joined here with my best friend, Dakota. How are you, Dakota?
I'm doing good, Goobs. How you doing?
Doing good. It's been a long week, but we made it, so I'm ready to go. How about you?
I'm doing good. Had work off since Saturday. Won't go back to work till next Wednesday. Taking a little bit 2 week vacation, but
Nice.
getting paid for it though, so that's another bonus.
That's even better. Sounds good, man. We got a good topic today, but before we jump into that, let's see. What did we watch this week? You wanna
Yeah, I'll
start it
start.
off?
Yeah, I'll go first. So starting up the week, I finally watched The Hills Run Red. Rips, good slasher. If you like horror movies, horror film, especially horror movies that deep dive into horror film, very good. I watched the original Terror Train back in the '80s with Jamie Lee Curtis. It's okay, not that great. I rewatched The Black Phone. Love that movie. Then I finally got to see R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead, the new Tubi original that released this Friday. I thought it was okay.
Nice.
Good gateway horror, remind me of like Goosebumps and stuff. But then after that, I watched The Black Phone 2. And that was it for this weekend.
Hell yeah. I had quite a few. This week. So, I watched for the first time The People Under the Stairs. Really good, wild, insane. Um, I rewatched the original Black Phone. Still great. I rewatched The Mist and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie from 1992. I watched The Jester 2. Better than the first one, but it's all right. Then I watched Kill Me Again, a time loop thriller slasher diner movie from Keith Jardine. Really good. And I rewatched a couple classics from 2007. We got Vacancy and The Hitcher.
Ooh, love
And
The Hitcher.
yeah, it's a good one. Very solid. And then I watched The Black Phone 2.
Hell yeah.
All right.
So let's get around to movie news.
Yep.
Um, First up, we got that Mortal Kombat 2. This we have been talking about this for at least a month or 2 months now. They have decided to move it up a week to May 8th to May 8th, 2026. I don't know why. I'm still thinking that this is the IMAX release window they want because I think they realized they're only going to give for 1 week after because the next week Mandalorian and Grogu comes in, and Star Wars always gets those IMAX screens and
Yeah.
those premiere high things, and of course it's the box office like what me and you and Ian were talking about. It was like a month and a half ago. They were worried about it having competition with maybe the Black Phone 2 because it did do pretty good this weekend. Because it was supposed to be released in 3 days from where we're recording right now.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's only it. Am I still excited for it? Yes. Maybe where they announced 3 now, they have bumped it back to get more of that money.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I really wanted it to come out this year, which it would have came out, in a couple weeks or a week. But it just, I don't know, studios seem to get in their own way because it destroyed all the hype that it had. But now that they're moving it up, they're trying to probably get it back a little bit. So I'm still going to go watch it for sure. The next piece of news I'm going to try to have to go do because I didn't get to check it out the first time. But Sinners is returning to IMAX on October 30th through the 5th of November. So just a week. But if you missed it the first time in IMAX, which I did, I saw it on the regular. but you have your opportunity now. So I may try to check this out because of how it was shot and the use of everything. So, and just to experience it a little differently.
And I was supposed to say you got that 70 millimeter IMAX near you,
Yeah.
so you definitely will have the full experience. Um, Dad didn't get to see this one. He hasn't saw it yet. Me and Mom saw it when it first came out, so hopefully during that week, even though Mom already saw it, I can pull at least both her back to the theater with Dad so we can rewatch it so he can actually get a good experience like how we did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What we get
Then
next?
up next, Melissa Barrera and John Travolta were starring in a new Rennie Harlan movie, Black Tides. This is about killer orcas, a group, like a pack of killer orcas. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm not this movie. I'm only excited about because of Melissa Barrera. John Travolta, I can't stand,
Yeah.
and Rennie Harlan. I'm gonna say this. This might be a hot take. Um, he's not that good in Nightmare on Elm Street. And you see what he's doing with his Strangers trilogy right now. Part one was garbage. Part two I haven't watched yet, but I heard that's terrible. And I heard part three might not be that great. So why is he deciding to make more movies if the movies he's making right now and the movies back then are not that great?
Right. I don't know. I'll watch it because of Melissa Barrera, but like I said, I don't. This guy hasn't had the best track record right now. Who has the better track record, him or Michael Chavez?
To be honest with you, if you took to two, I would actually pick Randy Harlan over Michael Chavez, just because of Nightmare on Elm Street 4. I think he directed 5 also.
Yeah, no, he just doesn't have the best track record, and kind of end it now. But we'll see. Maybe he can make a comeback. Next piece of news is another thing that I don't think we need, but Screamboat 2, Nothing Stays Dead, announced for 2026 in a theatrical release from the same people, and this one it was god awful. So I'm not excited for this one. What about you?
So I haven't seen the first one. To be honest, I might actually like it a lot more than you do because one, the director and David Howard Thornton made the main one, and I love the main one. So them attached, of course, Michael Levy is producing it, so probably will like it. The second, I don't know. It depends how the first one says with me if I'm excited for the second or not. Uh, is it good for independent horror? Yes, because we're getting more independent horror movies out there, and it will get especially Fuzz on the Lens production out there because right now they got Terrifier 2 and 3. I think they did the first one, but I definitely know 2 and 3, and they're
Yeah.
going to do 4, Stream 1 and 2 because Michael directs those, and then he's producing Screamboat, and then he's going to be producing this one also.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I support them. So I mean, I'm not going to rush out to see it though. But it is good for independent horror, and you know, so we'll see how it goes.
So up next, oh yeah, more news about a Nightmare on Elm Street director that should not be making film anymore. Chuck Russell wants to return to the Nightmare on Elm Street universe. This is the first part of the news. I want to talk about this. Chuck Russell directed Dream Warriors. I love Dream Warriors. I think it's the second best in the franchise, second or third best in the franchise. I like the mask, but I haven't seen it, but I know some people have seen the remake of Witchboard, and I heard it's terrible.
Yeah,
So
I've
I,
seen it.
I think it's to the point of it was like lightning in a bottle with Chuck Russell. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Technically, nobody can direct a good Nightmare on Elm Street movie if it's not Wes Craven, because he made New Nightmare and he made the original. And if you like two, I like two. 2 is underrated. But if you
Yeah.
took out of them all, but if you take Dream Warriors out, it's literally New Nightmare and the original that everyone loves. Like the
Yeah.
remake, a lot of people don't like the remake. 4 and 5, of course, I think it's both Renee Harlan. 6, people really don't like 6. And of course, Freddy versus Jason, it's its own thing over here, even though it's Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Um, I think Dream Warriors is only good because Wes Craven was in there, not directing, but in there helping Chuck Russell. Technically, if you consider it, he probably directed the movie behind the scenes, but they just gave Chuck Russell the directing credit.
Yeah.
But the second part is, which I think is, at first I thought it was good until I listened to Ian Colby and Chris talk about that. I thought it was kind of stupid. Now, um, of course, Robert Englund doesn't want to be Freddy anymore. Then Chuck Russell decides, yeah, let's pick one of the actors I worked with on The Mask, Jim Carrey, to play Freddy. Um, Serious Freddy, yes. I haven't seen the number 23, but I remember those trailers when I was little, and that movie terrified me, and it seemed like Jim Carrey gave a great performance in those.
Yeah.
But with a comedic side, Freddy, they said this, and I kind of thought of this. I talked to mom; she kind of agreed with me. And if he goes into comedic Freddy, it's just going to be Jim Carrey.
Yeah. It's like he could play one side but not the other because he could have the one-liners and whatnot, but you're still going to know that it's Jim Carrey. And most likely you're going to associate it with another one of his characters from his comedic past. You know, I feel like he would go into like his Ace Ventura bag with the punchlines and the comedic tones of it, but who knows? His serious side though, he can definitely act.
Have you seen the number 23?
Long time ago.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a darker psychological thriller, and it's solid. But I definitely feel like it wouldn't work in this situation.
And I also think with Chuck Russell, anything comedic come out of him, like one-liners or anything, would just be like The Mask
Yeah, yeah,
because it'll
that's
be
why.
same dialogue and same everything like that.
Yeah, which I get. I love The Mask,
Yo, I love it too.
but it's its own thing. But I doubt anything will come from his comments. That's for sure.
I could see more Blumhouse getting it now than like Chuck Russell getting it. I can like put a bet Blumhouse is going to get more than Chuck Russell is going to actually get a Nightmare on Elm Street movie made.
Right. But for all you Funko collectors, looks like there's another announcement for some Terrifier 3 pops. Now, I haven't seen any of the potential things, but I'm sure there's a Christmas art. There has to be.
So I know what they actually are.
Oh, yeah? What do you got?
So it's just a bloody art. There's no Christmas ones, which they need to bring some Christmas ones.
Yes.
It's just a bloody art, kind of like Terrifier 1 they did. It's that, and then in the blacklight version, which the blacklight version looks pretty cool. Then they got Victoria holding Art's head, like her seeing Chris Cross
Oh,
applesauce.
yeah. Uh, nice. They need a Santa art. Like,
With
you
a
can't
chainsaw.
not. Yeah, you can't not have Terrifier 3 without Santa Claus art. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, definitely. And we need a Sienna besides her and Art fighting. We need a Sienna like standalone pop.
Have her in her. Yeah, I mean, even if you want to. I'm trying to think what her.
It's only Terrifier 2 can make because there will be regular clothes in the third.
Yeah, in 3. Yeah, because yeah, drop the ball. I don't think people realize how big that was going to be, though. But of course, I don't think Damien thought it was going to be as big as it was. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I think
it
TikTok
just
helped that out a lot.
Yeah. But yeah.
The last piece of news is that The Descent for the 20th anniversary will get a 4K Steelbook release on November 11th via Lionsgate Limited, which is not going to be available anywhere. You got to go on the Lionsgate Limited website. It's a pre-order right now, which, Goops, did you ever pre-order yours? I know I sent you the link.
No, I didn't pre-order it yet. I have a hard time pulling the trigger on the steel books just because I love them, but it's just a lot of money for something I already have in DVD form, you know.
And this version has the theatrical and unrated cut. So
Yeah. Oh, it's worth it.
I'm actually going to probably get it. Like, I got the Blu-ray, but I think I'm actually going to get, because I got the unrated version of the Blu-ray, I kind of want the theatrical version just to have, and it's a 4K upgrade. So
Yeah.
and that still looks nice.
I think that's all I have is the theatrical version. Like I said, I got the OG DVD. So
from when it came out back in 05.
Yeah, I got the original one. So it's somewhere around here. But that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I remember when that came out. That poster terrified the shit out of me. And even part 2, even though I heard part 2's not that great, that poster still terrified me. With her holding that torch in the cave.
Yeah, dude. Just that whole situation, that whole movie is a big no for me. I like to stay above the ground. But yeah, that's all the news that we got for today. So we're gonna jump right into our main topic, and that is, of course, the Black Phone 2. Dakota, I know you're excited to talk about it. Let's get your spoiler-free thoughts on it.
No, I want you to go first because I'm going to have a delay session up in here for like the next hour or so. Just be prepared, guys. You guys will be here for a long time.
So I really enjoyed this one. I thought as a movie, it was better than the first one. I enjoyed it a lot more. I thought the execution of the supernatural effects with the grabber was executed very well. Going into it, I wasn't sure how they were going to do that and how they were going to pull it off, because just as the trailer suggested, it's just like Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, which it did hit those vibes, but there was the certain ways that why can't I think of the director's name right now?
Scott Derrickson.
Yeah, Scott Derrickson was able to switch in how it was filmed to kind of get its own type of vibe. Like, yeah, a lot of people say it has that sinister movie feel, which it does with the flashbacks and the dream sequences, but I loved how it flipped back and forth. I absolutely adored it, and it just made those sequences so much more frightening, so much more tense, and just such a good sequel. And like I said, I think it's the better one. I love the progression of the characters. I'm not going to go too far into it. We'll get that in the spoiler part. But I love the progression of the characters from the grabber to Finn, the dad. I mean, it was executed far more than I could have expected it to be. Like the setting, the scene, the set design, the backdrop, everything was just so good. So I can't wait to go into more of the spoiler aspect, but that's what I got for the first part. If I were to put anything down on it, I understand why they did it, but I feel like I don't want to call Finn, like, I enjoyed his progression through a character, or through a character standpoint with how he was portrayed in this film, but I also thought he was kind of whiny and kind of, toward his sister and wasn't the best. But that's like the only nitpick. But I'll go into deeper thing about it with the spoiler part. But go ahead, Dakota. I know you're ready.
Okay. So I love the Black Phone one. Like favorite horror movie 2022. Going to this one, I think I'm the one. Even before anything like was shown, I'm like the number one person that was like on board for this. Like I know a lot of people are not like, why would you need a sequel? It's a good standalone story. Is this going to be a prequel? And I was all on board. Like I think this was announced back early 2023, April. It was back in April 2023. Um, after watching the first one, I'm like I said before, I'm on board. Um, Trailers came out and everything. Loved it. Poster, love the poster. I think is great. After watching the movie, this movie is phenomenal. It's my favorite of the year.
Hmm.
When people say this is the best horror movie of the year, they're right. I there's a lot of break this movie down situations. There's like a whole bunch of stuff I want to just like say about this. Scott Derrickson is becoming one of the best horror directors right now. This Sinister, Black Phone 2, his segment VHS 85, all great. I love them all. Still have to watch his other two films. I heard they're great also. Mason Thames is an upcoming star in Hollywood right now. From him being his first film for the Black Phone to him being everything right now, from like How to Train Your Dragon to this, and to Regretting You coming out this week, and him gonna be in How to Train Your Dragon 2. His name is going around the like movie circuit, and it's phenomenal to see that this young man at 18 years old has three movies coming out this year, and could all probably potentially be opening weekend number one box office hits. Madeline McGraw, outstanding. Like she's already really big in Hollywood, like this and some other projects, but her performance as Gwen in this, phenomenal. Ethan Hawke is Ethan Hawke. Anything you watch Ethan Hawke in, you know he's outstanding. Love every other character. I forgot his name. I really want to give him props, but the guy who played Robin and Ernesto, this is his only two films. I like him as Robin. Really like him as Ernesto in this. The dad, great. Everyone in this movie, besides at least two characters, I couldn't stand, but the rest of these whole entire characters, I really enjoyed. The thing that you guys are saying with Finney, I know he's writing and everything, but it's like a Scout Kayler Compton in a Halloween 2 situation. She acted the same way in that movie as Finney does in this. I think the thing is also Finney's younger and everything. And of course, that happened to him when he was in middle school, probably 11, 12, 13 years old. And he is just in high school trying to get through this. Like, everyone knows him as the grabber killer. And to be known that through your whole entire school, and for a new kid to come up to you, be like, "Are you the grabber killer?" It kind of probably ticks them off all the time. And this whole entire movie, once we get like to the camp, but not like a spoiler and anything, because we know they go to the camp. Love the whole aesthetic of that, of actually filming on location in Toronto in the snow, and the camera work that Derrickson has, and the cinematography and everything, outstanding. But the cinematography hits down to the dream sequences, and that's in the Super 8 film. He shoots it like Sinister style. And I think that's what turned a lot of people off. There were some people, probably the Finn thing, but it's the Super 8 style filmmaking. Because the Black Phone 1, you don't see a lot of that in it. There's like shots here and there of it, but this is right in your face for it, and I just love it because it takes you from like when you're Gwen's in the dream sequence to when they're out in the real world, like out of the dream world and everything that's going on in her mind. And to have this like build up, I'm just gonna say a story on the grabber and Fanny and Gwen and tie all that into it with a redemption arc with the dad. Outstanding. Like this, there's some nitpicks about this, but a lot of it's like you could push it like into the ground because all the good outdoes the bad in this movie, in every situation in this movie, and it's so phenomenal. And I can't tell you guys that if you guys haven't seen this movie yet, go see it in theaters right now because Blumhouse, to be honest, I'm a big Blumhouse fan, but Blumhouse has been on a down year, and this is the movie to get them back up to where we want of what Blumhouse is, like that sinister that back in the early 2000 days, and it starts right now with this movie. So if you guys want more movies like this, go see this movie.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, um, the good definitely outweighs the bad. Like the little complaints I have are very minuscule when it compares to the actual movie. It's like the movie as a whole. So, but shoot, you want to jump into spoilers and kind of
Yeah.
go a little deeper into it? All right, sounds good. So if you haven't watched the Black Phone 2, stop this video now and then come back when you've seen it, and then let's get into it. So I guess I'll kick the conversation off. It's not we can run into spoilers now, but which one do you find better? This one or the first one?
Number 2, hands down.
Yeah, same.
It
All right. Go ahead. Why do you
it's
think so?
so much more. Like it's a singular both of them are singular stories, but that one was so like kept tight because this is it. That was based off a short story. So they had stuff to go off of. This is original. Like Joe Hill, this movie's only got made because Joe Hill went to Derrickson with an idea and Derrickson liked the idea.
Yeah.
If he didn't like the idea, Black Phone 2 would never happen at all. And to be honest with you, I think he might have thrown the idea out to him during the first movie. Because I heard an interview that Madeline McGraw during the first one knew there was going to be a second one. So I'm thinking the whole entire thing, they knew there was going to be a second one when they were making it, but they
Yeah.
just didn't know like what the story was going to be. And everyone's kind of scared, I think, from Derrickson to Malcolm McGraw has said it, Ethan Hawke has said it, Mason Thames has said it, that they were all kind of scared. Like they didn't want it to be a cash grab thing, which
Yeah.
I give props to all of them because a lot of these actors and stuff want these movies to continue for cash grabs and they care about having a good story so they can give a good story to the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think this one was a cash grab at all. I love the fact that it went off of its own story. Like the first one was based off the short story. It had a baseline of what it needed to follow. This one was just like, yep, let's cook up a brand new horror icon, and here it comes. Because I think that because with the success of this one, we down the line, we're not. This isn't the last we're going to see of the grabber, that's for sure. And I feel like this one was just a dip into the bucket of what this character can be because he has so much lore and backstory. They tapped into it a little bit with talking about him being the maintenance guy at the Alpine camp and just kind of the beginning days of him. Gave him a little bit of a backstory as far as he's a good skater. He, has these things about him, but there's still more that you could pick into the story of the grabber. show him where his power is harnessed a little bit throughout this film, being at the camp. But as he said in the actual film, when Finn says, I killed you, he's like, well, death is just a word. Death don't mean nothing. So even though they killed him again, there's still more to go. You know what I mean? And I feel like with them hitting on the level that they did with this film, it's just going to be more and more. And I feel like they could go a lot. And they may not have to continue with just Finn and Gwen. It could be more of a, I don't want to say sinister because it's his other film, but you know what I mean? Like you had the tapes and you could go more and more with that type of style. It doesn't have to be just with Gwen and Finn. Yeah, it could go to another family before the grabber got to where he was. It's untapped potential, I think.
I think there's going to be a plot story down the line that they are connected to him somehow. I don't know what form of way, because they can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
No matter what. And there's a reason that they can't get rid of him. Because it's so weird, because lining both of these up together, like, we might be bouncing back and forth like all through this. Them finding out that the mom didn't commit suicide, that she actually got killed by the grabber,
Yeah.
and then he takes Finney later on. It's so ironic how that happens.
Yeah.
And then out of everybody, like, I know Finn killed him. But he has several people he could go after also. It's only like Finn he wants to go after. I know he wants to go after Gwen, but there's so much more story they can lead also, because you got the dad over here. And I was telling Mom, and this is how I think you connect VHS 85, the segment, into it. Remember, I think it's I forgot his name. Gunther, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Their cousin. Remember, he's still out there. And that is 85. This is 3 years before. That movie's 3 years before this. So
Yeah.
there's another connect, because Finn's not afraid of the grabber anymore. Gwen's not afraid of the grabber. He can get into that boy's mind and make him scared.
Yeah.
And then they can bring him in, and that can lead a whole other thing. And then that shows, I think to the dad, I think he got clarity on it, but it might show more clarity of, like, this is not just between her and her mother. Like, this is a whole entire family thing happening right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, we're going to be bouncing back around, but hey, that's what a freaking discussion is. I loved the fact that they brought in the story of their mom. And I love how that played into the fact of them going to the camp and the initial phone call in the movie. I thought that was a brilliant choice. And that's what also, I think, helped with bringing the supernatural elements into it, where it wasn't just like, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to throw Freddy Krueger in this movie where he's going to come into their dreams and whatnot. But it's specifically who he's targeting to go into, and why, and how it's connected, and why he can go into their brain. You know what I mean? It was a genius move in the storytelling with this movie.
Yeah.
I was, like I said, we've talked multiple times where, we give you crap about being, Blumhouse guy, but I didn't care that this one was Blumhouse in general. I just didn't have any hard feelings toward this movie. Like I wasn't rushing to the theater, but whenever I know you're excited for it and we were going to talk about it, I went in with no real expectations. But the little expectations I had with Ethan Hawke and liking the first one, it exceeded everything. And I know people say, "Who, if you like the first one, you're probably not going to like this one, or vice versa." I fucking dug both. I love both films, and I love how they can not switch up the tone because it's still a dark and gritty movie in storytelling of the subject matter. A guy fucking snatching kids and killing them. It's hard, and this is still the same tonally like that. But I loved how they were able to add to the story without subtracting from the old story, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It didn't take away from the first one for me, but it added everything to the second one. That's where I stand on the movie, having no real ties to it and having like not a confirmational bias of the movie, but that's just it was good. And I love the little things. And you touched on something, but I can't. Oh, it was about how you said some people didn't like how it switched to the Super 8 in the dream sequences and stuff, or what you've seen. I thought that was fucking great because in other movies, when there's a dream sequence, sometimes you can't tell if it's a dream sequence. You know what I mean? Like it's shot the same way. Everything's just shot the same way in regards to what the movie is. It's still shot the same way from regular day to day to dream sequence. But when they switch to this one, it's like, oh, this is a dream sequence. And you're wondering what's happening. And then you realize, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're in a dream or not. She could still die. And I love how when she was talking to the grabber in the dream, and she's like, I'm in a dream. It won't hurt. He's like, well, let's test it out. And smacks her with the axe and cuts her arm. And then you're like, oh, shit. So this is going to be like that. Where, you die in your dreams, you die for real type thing. But it did it in its own way.
And I'm going to ask you a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Before going into this, did you think that this whole, like the 3 kids getting killed was in the past, or what did you think they were getting killed at the camp with Ben and Gwen and Ernesto?
Oh, I figured just from the phone call at the very beginning and how it kind of tied into Gwen and everything.
Before going into the movie.
Oh, before going into the movie? Yeah, I thought it was an active summer camp or whatever. So I'm like, how the hell is he? And that was another reason why I was like, how the hell is he doing this? Is it literally just straight up Nightmare on Elm Street? Because I know that's the parallel that we keep talking about, but it's honestly what it was framed to be. But yeah, I thought it was just going to be them at the new summer camp, and it was going to be happening with Finn and Gwen there. I didn't think it was going to be before.
Okay, because I was talking to Mom and that's what she thought, so I was wondering it. Let us know down in the comments also if you guys like thought of that, because I want to see how many people went into the movie thinking that was going to be present, while the others, there was, for some reason, I thought might have thought that would have been in the past, because technically, if you look at the first film, Robin and all of them are kind of like past kills and everything, not like right there in that time. And the way like the kids dressed and everything, from their costume design and everything, didn't scream like 80s. It screamed more like 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get into it and you're like, oh, okay. That's why I think I started to get locked in from there, because it was like, oh, because you know how when you're watching a movie, you can kind of see where it's progressing toward most of the time. I was ready for that ride. I was ready for how I felt at the beginning and where I felt it was going. And I was down for it, and it didn't disappoint.
The only thing that threw me off is the mom, because she's cast, the person who plays her is the same person in Final Destination who plays the sister.
Oh,
So I was thinking probably like another camp counselor there with Finn and Gwen,
Yeah.
but I didn't think of mom until I saw 1950 was 1957. Then saw her talking on the phone. Then I'm like, and she was talking to somebody. I'm like, I wonder if this is their mom somehow.
Yeah. There's something about the VHS style 16 millimeter type camcorder filming that just gets under my skin. Same thing with like analog horror and those type of things with the static and the color flickers and stuff. And it worked in this one because yes, in the first one, it's shot dark, dingy, but digital. It's clear. You can kind of see what's going on the whole time, and you know it didn't have. I felt more uncomfortable and more tense with that VHS style added into this one. You know what I
I
mean?
I was wondering. Yeah, I do agree with you that on that, but I was wondering, um, where this is original. I wonder if Scott Derrickson at least told Joe Hill and like Jason Blum, Jason Blum already knew he directed Sinister, and I was wondering if he asked him, let me get my in my Sinister bag right now. Let
Right?
me do this of like the Super 8 style filming this grainy, because that's a lot of the complaints. Like there was no tense, there's no fear in the first one. It was not a horror movie. It seems like why is it like Chuck was saying? He has told us because he don't like the first one because the grabber doesn't seem scary. Like how is he the grabber?
Mm.
And with this one, I think that's why, because me and he really likes this one besides the first one. And I think it's that. It's like you said with those grainy shots, it brings that fear
Yeah.
into what the grabber is and everything. And I think it starts out with the him killing each kid, because I told you guys during the VHS episode for the segment 85 that Derrickson did, if he could go that hard in the violence and everything with the Super 8 at the same time, I'll
Yeah.
be very happy, and that's what he did. Seeing him kill the first kid out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, it had me flashback to watching that sequence in VHS 85.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised about how bloody this one was. It definitely surpassed my expectations on that. Because you saw a little bit of the blood in the trailer, when she's spinning in the phone booth and all that stuff. But when you see the grabber itself, like, I loved his look in this film, kind of decaying, you know, not zombie esque, but like he had the decaying features. His feet were frozen over pretty much, and was able to that ice skating scene was so sick, dude. I love how it was shot, and I loved how it showed, and it what. So here's what I also liked when it came to his powers, and compared to the other, what we thought we were getting. I loved how there was a dream going on, but he was still able to fuck people up in real life. Like
That's
how
another nitpick that people had too.
that was a
Didn't
nitpick.
understand that. So I'm gonna go a little bit. Sorry for interrupting you
Oh
real
no,
quick.
you're good.
Um, this is what I'm gonna say. So when he just got back from hell, right? So when he's talking to Finney on the phone, and he's like, "I have been 4 years trying to get memories back because he
Yeah,
forgot everything, like everybody else." And he's like, "Hell, let me have some things." I think he's still trying to learn because he didn't know he could try kill Gwen in a dream. He's like, "Let's find out."
yeah,
So it's that learning process, and I think after that, I think he realized, because when the people started to pull Gwen over, and I think, oh, was it? Did he throw Finn or Finn threw him? It was during
He
that scene.
he threw Finn because he tried to choke him with the belt. He was like, "We made." He's like,
No, in the
"I didn't."
kitchen.
Oh, in the kitchen? No, that was just Gwen in the kitchen.
I thought he threw somebody. No, I know he threw the Christian guy that we don't like. He threw him
Oh yeah,
across the kitchen,
yeah.
and
And
I
so
think that's when he knew. Oh shit! Not only I could get her in her dream world, I can fuck up anybody around here.
yeah, and how he threw a bunch of the plates and pots and pans and shit. Like there were good elements to it, and like I said, I agree with you on the memory part and how kind of things were adapted. And I, speaking of hell, I loved this depiction. When we looked at the backdrop in the on the where they shot this movie in the snow in the mountains, like all of that's on site and it's beautiful to us. I was thinking, man, that's pretty, looking out on the mountains and everything like that. But that's literally Finn's hell and Gwen's hell and the grabber, that's him being in his own hell. Him saying, hell isn't fire, it's ice and it burns just as much. Like that was so fucking cool. And I loved how they depicted hell in this movie. And just it's one of the more unique and more well executed visions of it. Because we always think fire, mountains, lava, all that shit when it comes to the depiction of hell in movies. And there's been two of them that have switched it on its head where I felt executed perfectly. This one in Event Horizon, where the depiction of hell in space is fucking scary. And this is another depiction where it works so well. And it's pretty fucking scary because you can die from the cold just as easy as anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I was gonna say this. Oh, I'm gonna say this. The These two movies have great like title card openings, especially this one because this shows him breaking out of the ice during the title card sequence.
Yeah. I
And it's
like
that song when that theme hits,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like locked in because I was thinking Alice in Chains, and when they played the actual like theme to it, I'm like, oh my god.
The soundtrack to this was pretty cool. I know when I was watching it, and I know Ian had mentioned it prior, but when they played Pink Floyd, once I heard the strums, I was like just vibing through and riding in the snowstorm, listening to Brick in the Wall part one is just like fuck yeah. And just the whole vibe. And then the use of Alice in Chains in the preview, like it worked. And it just showed a lot of different parts of filmmaking that worked for this film. I know we're not saying anything bad about it, but honestly, there's way more good than bad in this movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know Finn had gone through the grabber situation and is dealing with that PTSD, but he wasn't the only one affected by the events of the first one. And I don't think he took other people into consideration while trying to heal himself. And I know that sounds like, oh, so deep and so whatever, but it's true. It's like, yeah, he had his traumas and dealt with his PTSD by getting high all the time. And his sister was trying to help not only herself, but him also to say, hey, this is what's happening to me. And it still is a reason why I think it's affecting you because you haven't had any closure. I still have this open chapter of what's happening to me with the grabber. And you just want to fucking smoke pot all the time. So I liked that journey through characters between both of them and their relationship. But honestly, I fucking when all he wanted to do was continue to run, I'm like, stop being a bitch. You have to fight. You have to do what you have to get over this. You know what I mean? And I know maybe I'm the only one that felt like that, but I'm just like, hurry the fuck up and just, you know, you have to face this. You have to not be scared. You have to go. And once he did it, I was like, finally. But it took him 3/4 of the movie to realize that this ain't going away. It's attached no matter what. They have to kill him.
And
Again.
I like the whole sequence of when the dad comes there and they're all just standing there in the snow. And she's like screaming at him. He's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. And he just breaks down. And this is why I'm saying Mason Thames is good, because that boy has some acting ability.
Yeah.
And it shows right there of him breaking down, him just saying that he's been scared. He was scared down there. Like in the first movie, you don't see it, but he was scared down there, and he's been scared ever since. And to see the dad, even though he's not the alcoholic anymore, to see that he still doesn't trust the whole entire vision thing that Gwen has, until I think it clicks with him when I believe, no, there was one point in this movie, there was a couple of nitpicks. Not like I said. She kind of took too long during that conversation to tell them that the grabber killed their mother.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, damn, just get it out there.
Yeah, just throw it out like this. This isn't the first time he's messed with our family. He actually killed our mom. Like,
I think Gwen reacted more than the father did. I'm like, not Gwen, but Ben.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I'm like, boy, you just really pissed the dude off.
Yeah.
But you can see with the father, because he helps him afterwards. I would say, I know this is a lot of biggest, though. This is a lot of people's problem in this, that nobody dies.
Yeah.
Is that a problem with you about this movie?
I was shocked that nobody did. I thought they were going to kill off, God, what's his name? The guy who he made fall in the ice.
Oh, I thought that too. I thought he was going to kill the weird, like, Christian people.
I mean, if anybody were to die, I'd have been fine with that. They were cunts. Like, you know, but I also like, it also works in a way where you can have an effective, scary person without having to kill anybody. I know that sounds totally stupid, but in a way where you see what he's capable of, what he's done, so you know he's a scary son of a bitch. But he also, how do I say it? He's still learning what he can and can't do.
Yeah.
So I think it's just building off of that, because he started slicing and dicing on the ice. That's when I thought they were going to get taken out, but I liked it. Shows that you don't need to have a horror movie and have that type of villain and have to kill somebody off for it to be a good movie. Like, there was enough tense moments to think people were going to die without actually having to have it happen. You know, like, what is his character's name?
Armando.
Armando. I thought he was going to go, and I was sweating the whole time while he was struggling in the ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it had an effectiveness to it, but it didn't have to go crazy, kill on screen. You know, we got enough, for me at least, we had enough blood, we had enough intensity and some scares. That snowman fucking scene, I knew it was coming, but it still got me. You know what I mean?
Oh, the throwing the snowballs.
Like, I knew it was coming, but then that freaking, it hit, and it was just like, it got me. So there was still enough for me to be scared, to have to kind of be on the edge of my seat, and to just have a good story.
Did you see? I forgot. It was one of the doors. I don't know if it was the Finn and them's door or Gwen and them's door, cabin door. Did you see like the ice freeze and it was the grabber's face?
Yeah.
Mom looked at me and I looked at her. She's like, I'm like, yep, it was him.
Yeah. What I didn't like, okay, first you are snowed in. There is no way in from the road, and you separate the one girl by herself, and you can't have them all sleep. There's literally 3 people in this whole, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 people in this camp the whole time, and you're worried about a brother and a sister sleeping in the same cabin. So dumb. I know they did it to keep her alone and to have that kind of,
Story
tense
thing.
moments and everything, but you're snowed in. Nobody's coming. The roads aren't plowed. They're not going to make it. You don't have to worry about a fucking state representatives coming to close your camp down because there's a girl in the boys' cabin, which they're siblings. That pissed me off. I don't know why.
And the only thing that I didn't get in this, like, it's another word. Like I told Mom this. The only person I know that they were because her camp counselor name was Starlight,
Yeah.
was Armando. He only knew that Finn and Gwen was
They were siblings.
yeah.
And he still
Not
made it say, don't do it
or
again.
like yeah, like no, like the mother no, I think that was afterwards. No, that was afterwards. I think that they found out. He found out about that. But like the his niece didn't know. I'm thinking, damn, because the Christian people are like, oh, that's the devil child and everything.
Yeah.
And they knew. I'm thinking, damn, just tell them that their mama was like a counselor back here back in the day, probably when you were here, and they could shut the
Right?
fuck up.
Right? Yeah. I didn't like those people. They pissed me off. And it kind of just shows what some sort of people will put blinders on to make themselves feel comfortable. Like, and they even said that too. The horse
Mustang.
handler, the horse
Mustang.
handler. What?
Mustang.
Yeah, Mustang was like, if you guys want to stay in here and close your eyes to what's going on in the real world, that's on you, kind of thing. And what a lot of people, and I'm not bashing on religion or anything like that, but it's like some people are so far into their own religion that they don't see what's actually happening in front of them. They just try to bury their head in the sand. And it just kind of like had that slight where I think they use those characters just to kind of give you a little bit of hatred toward them. You know what I mean? Like they're just being dicks and they don't care, but they claim to be the caring people. And, so there was a little bit of character development for them, but to actually hate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one in how, and also I feel like I said before, there's ways you can keep this story going. And if we give me Ethan Hawke in this character and I will watch every movie. Like, he just has a presence on screen and has always had a presence on screen that I enjoy damn near everything he's been in.
I was
know
gonna
what I mean?
say he is one of your favorite movies of all time.
Which one?
Training Day.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, him in Training Day as Jake is fantastic. He was also in Assault on Precinct 13. It was a remake, but still. Freaking, I thought you meant horror movies of all time. I was like, what is he in? He just
He's good and
had,
Sinister.
yeah, great and Sinister.
The Purge.
Oh, yeah, the first Purge. Oh, God, I hated his son in that fucking movie. Ooh, God. Fuck that kid. Sorry. But yeah, just give me all of it, and I will be there because this story felt it had a fresh idea with a common trope. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
Yeah.
And man, I thought it was hands hands down better than the first.
There's a couple more things that I want to get into that I want to talk about at the end and the whole entire like 30 minutes. Um there's some jokes in this that hit. Actually like when when Armando's like, "This is Mustang." Finn's like the car? She's like the horse. I'm like, bro, what?
Right?
Some people don't like this, but Gwenny, damn,
Cool.
Gwen, Gwenny's like the first one, um,
Yeah.
from the first movie. Gwen, being potty mouth, like when she
There
starts
was
to grab her, you can something about horse stick.
yeah, there was
I'm
one
like,
that I
okay.
there was one that took me so off guard and I audibly laughed and I can't remember which one it was, but oh man, it's gonna bother me. But yeah, there was one of her little one-liners that I was just like, ah, and laughed like audibly in the theater.
I looked over at mom when it was the grabber. I think when she said that to him, I looked over at her and she just stared at the screen, thinking, "Oh my god."
Yeah,
Or like in the first one, my mom laughed. It was when there was that bully, like somehow being a fuck butt face or something.
yeah,
My mom started laughing. I'm thinking that one has like it's a little zinger with her lines over here.
right.
But let's get into this very ending because when okay, to be honest with you, there was a moment in this movie I thought it was going to end, and I didn't think it was going to be my favorite movie of this year. Favorite movie and favorite horror movie of this year. It's when she tells the grabber that she's not scared anymore, and she sits crisscross applesauce in that phone booth, and it blows up.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, okay, if it ends right here, I'm like, it's still gonna be 5 out of 5, but it's not gonna be my favorite horror movie of the year. But then we got to the point of um the whole time, the whole sequence of them on the ice, and now not even on the ice, but them having the conversation with Dad, Gwen, and Finn, and the whole conversation going to the ice fight at the very end. But the character building of Finn in this, of him actually fighting the grabber at the very end, like the grabber like
yeah,
having him in the hold back here, he's in that like little chokehold and throwing him over.
yeah,
But Finn, like, oh, Gwen's like lifting up the boys up the ice, and they grab the grabber's leg
yeah,
as soon as the barrel popped up, perfect. But when she has him right there, and she has cut his foot off,
yeah,
and no, it's not even the foot. He still has a hold. I think she chops him in the head, and he's just laying there. And then Finn, like, he knows he's down there, so he goes right
yeah,
to his face, and he just looks at him. He's like, oh, I forgot what he said to him, but it was fucking bars.
yeah. Fuck. I said that too. I was like, I, I turned to my wife and was like, "Oh, that shit was cold." Like what he said, and I just can't remember the final line that he kind of, or he asked him like, "Is he scared yet?" or something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, that was hard. And I,
And he just slams the fuck out of his face into the
yeah,
ground.
yeah, I was that was brutal as shit, and I was like, "Whoa." I wonder if they. I have to look it up to see if I can find what it said because that's gonna bother me. Oh man, what
I
was the?
think what's it? Did he say? Yeah, you're right. Hell is as cold as ice.
I think so.
Going into like after that, oh my god, when she's talking to their mama on the phone, very very sad. because she's like, "Oh, is this a curse?" She's like, "No, it's a blessing," and everything. And oh my God, when did she tell um her to tell Finn? Oh yeah, Robin said hi. It
Oh,
broke me. I'm thinking, and she told Finn, and he just started crying because one, it's his mom, but two, his best friend from middle school
yeah,
is still looking after him. Like it's the same thing of him and Ernesto, um, talking right before the whole like dream sequence of them finding like beginning of the Nightmare on Elm Street type of stuff. Of he's like, have you heard like the rumors of like him talking to Robin, and then Finn's like, yeah. He's like, have you heard from him ever since though, or is he still here? And just to know that Robin is still looking after Finn through the whole entire probably in these past 4 years,
yeah,
especially the beginning when he's like, oh, when there's a crowd, more blood, and that's the line that Robin said at the beginning of the very first movie.
yeah.
This is another thing. I don't know if it's a driller or something. You know when Gwen gets her stomach cut open and the blood goes everywhere? How the fuck is she walking?
Oh, dude, I don't. That is a. That's always been the question.
Does she have superpowers? I'm wondering. Does these telekinetic powers have like healing powers or something? Like I need to
Right?
know.
Yeah. It was wild. They definitely there was some plot. She's got some plot armor.
Definitely. Um, but before we head off for the episode, I want to talk about Black Phone 3. Are we gonna get one? Is that the question? So what do you think, Goops?
100%. Not just from the box office itself, but just from the reception that it's getting. You know what I mean? I know not everybody goes off of like Rotten Tomatoes and people like us talking it and reviewing it, but it legitimately is a good movie, and I think a lot of people have seen that it is a good movie, and I
Because
think we're getting one.
okay, so this is what I'm gonna say right now. Let me look up real quick. But while I'm looking this up, um, I think we're gonna get one. The storyline with her cousin, I think, is a good one. But let me get into the other storyline. Then I'm gonna say this real quick before I get into that. Ethan Hawke, Joe Hill, um, Cargill, which is the producer, and Scott Derrickson have all expressed an interest in the third film. And if Joe Hill's on board, we're gonna probably get the third movie because that's the writer of the first one, and that's the one who gave Derrickson the idea for the second one. So if he's got another story he wants to tell, and
Yeah,
Derrickson, I bet you he has already told Derrickson the story, and if Derrickson's on board for it, they're just waiting for Universal and Jason Blum to be like, yeah, let's run this thing back for a third time.
yeah, and like I said, I think they're gonna do that because it was the reception that it got. Because people came out of Fantastic Fest going, "Holy shit!" You know what I mean? Like this is totally different. It has. I don't want to say it has that classic horror slasher vibe, but it does. You know what I mean? He's kind of a slasher now, but this one deals with a lot of the supernatural slasher, which I enjoyed. Waltz, the first one was more of like an intense thriller. You know what I mean? So it kind of flipped genres, but still maintained the backbone from the first one and the original short story.
And I was there's a lot of things like the cousin is a good pathway. Mom said this before I get into my theory of couple of theories. The mask was never on when they threw him into the water. Do you see
Mhm.
when he was freezing, he had his mask on? Mom wonder if it's the mask, if the mask gives him his powers, if that's who he makes him. It's kind of like it's kind of like because he don't remember he didn't want to be called the Wild Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, so the grabber having the mask, it makes him the grabber. It makes him this fear thing. And what does he live and feed off? Fear.
Is he Pennywise?
Oh no.
Just kidding.
Shallow chef for the Pennywise. Oh. So there's two other things. One, could he be connected to the dad somehow? Because he knew they had a father probably, but he really didn't know. And he could have got involved with this. And the other ones is Ernesto. If he finds out that he's Robin's brother, he can go after him. Because Robin is one of his victims.
Yeah. And I mean, his mom, they pointed to that his mom is a spiritual person and has ties to like that spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think of that. Oh, man. God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because he gave her the tarot card type or the tarot-esque type cards and stuff. And he knew about her visions because his mom has the same kind of shop, you know, and kind of feeling. So they could explore that.
Joe Hill, Scott Derrickson, Jason Blum. If you think of any ideas, call me and Goobs. We can throw some ideas your way.
Yep. I just want to have an executive producer tag.
Hell, I just love to meet the cast and crew. Sit down with Mason Thames, especially Ethan Hawke. Talk to Ethan Hawke would be amazing.
Yeah.
But
what else you got?
That's it for me. The glazing was not as long as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, on that note, that is our thoughts and feelings of the Black Phone 2. Let us know what yours are in the comments section. Let us know if you thought it was better than the original or if you didn't. But as always, if you're watching, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. If you are listening to the audio version, drop us a 5-star review. It always helps. And we just appreciate you always being here. Follow Dakota and myself on our own individual handles as well. They'll be located down below. And we just appreciate you always being here. And like I said, let us know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. But until then, for myself and Dakota, we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.